Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, in this session I'm going to discuss some basic techniques related to averages and percentages. Good number of students are still confused how to find average and a particular percentage given in the asked in the question. Okay, so let's discuss the methods. Friends, in all my data interpretation sessions, I've been using a method that is to find out the average of given data is the assumed mean or assumed average method, right? I assume a mean and then I find out the deviation from that mean, and then I find out the average deviation to calculate the final average. Okay, so the same method I'll be discussing over here because good number of students are confused with this method. See, I have this 10 data over here with me. The very first thing which I have to find out is the average, an assumed average of these data. Now these data, maybe they represent the cells of any company, maybe height or weight of any student, or like a group of students, or maybe marks of a particular person in various subjects, whatever, right? It may be any part of the data interpretation. The final thing is that we have to find out the average of these 10 data. Okay, maybe this is the cells of a company in hundreds, that is 2900, 3200, 3500, whatever, right? The final thing is we have to find out the average. Now what I assume is the average of these 10 data to be 30. Now a question arises, which number to be assumed, right? Good number of students are still confused what number to be assumed. They ask whether I should assume 35, 45, whatever. See, whatever number you wish to assume, you can, right? Accordingly, your calculation will be changed. Okay, because you are just looking at the deviation from that particular number only. Okay, so it really doesn't matter which number you choose as an assumed average. Okay, the only thing is that to make your calculation easy, just choose a number that is multiple of 5, or it would be really great if you choose a multiple of 10. Okay, so it is great if you choose 30, 40, 20, 25, something like that, just looking at the data. If the data are in 100, you have to choose accordingly, right? If the data are in tens or in thousands, you have to choose accordingly. But it would be great if you choose a multiple of 10, and if it is not possible, then choose a number which is multiple of 5. To a certain extent, if you have to approximate the numbers, you can do that, because in none of the exam you are asked about the accurate answer. Okay, so I assume here the average to be 30. Now what is the next step? I'll be looking at the deviation from this assumed average. Okay, so 29 is minus 1, 32 is plus 2, it is plus 5, it is plus 7, it is minus 5, it is minus 2, it is plus 12, it is plus 3, minus 4, minus 3. Okay, now cancel whatever is getting cancelled. Positive 5, negative 5, it's plus 2, minus 2. So it's 12 plus 3, 15, minus 1, 14, right? So in the total difference is 14 there. So in average there will be a difference of 1.4, since the calculation is positive. The deviation is positive, so 30 plus 1.4, 31.4 is the accurate average of all these 10 data, right? You can very well check it with your Kelsey or whatever the other methods, but 31.4 is the correct average, 100% accurate average, because we haven't done any approximation with any of the numbers. Now the first question was that I have calculated is, what is the average of these data? And the second question is, which is also frequently a part of data interpretation question. Suppose these are the 10 persons, maybe A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, right? Now the question is like, suppose maybe I talk about say F, or say whatever F. Okay, F is getting what percentage of marks among all? Okay, if we add up all the data, 28 is what percent of that? Or suppose these 10 are the cells of this unit. Maybe A is 29 units, B is 39 units, C is 35 units, right? So what is the contribution of F in percentage among all, right? That means precisely what you have to do, 28 divided by all these numbers, that is 29 plus 32 till 27 into 100. Okay, that means you have to find out 28 is what percent of the total. Okay, so this also becomes a really difficult, or not at all difficult, but a lengthy calculation. Difficult, it's not that difficult, but it becomes lengthy calculation, right? So what you can do is alternatively, just listen to me carefully, or maybe instead of 28 it is say 33 by all these numbers into 100, or maybe any other number, say 42, 25, 37, right? The method will remain same. I'll take two, three examples so you'll be cleared how to do that. Now instead of doing this entire calculation, what you can do is you can still go by the average method, right? Now see, there are 10 data, right? On an average, every data is carrying 10%. On an average, every data is carrying 10%, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 till 100, right? Now we will be calculating the deviation from this 10, the deviation from this 10%. Okay, now suppose I have to find out the percentage of 33, right? 33 this, right? The contribution of 33 I assume to be 10%. Now I have to find out the actual contribution of that, right? So here the average that we calculated was 31.4. Okay, that is actually 10%. Okay, now 33 is what? 1.6 more than this. Okay, so 1.6 more than this, so 31.4, like 1.6 is what percent of 31.4? That is the only thing that we have to calculate. Now 16 twos are 32, that is 1.6, and that is around 32. So 16 twos are 32, so this is actually 20 times. So precisely it is 5. So we got 5%. That means 33 contributes 10 and 5% plus 5% of 10. 5% of 10 is what? 0.5. So it contributes 10 plus 5% of 10, that's 0.5 percent, right? That means 33 by this entire calculation is 10.5% around. Okay, I take one or two more data to elaborate in a better manner. So precisely what I am doing, see, there are 10 data, each data carries 10% on an average, and I am finding out the variation from this average. Okay, so here every data is contributing 10%, average is 31.5, so 10% is actually equivalent to 31.4. Okay, now the other data as I have calculated for 33 is how much percentage of this deviation that we have to calculate. Now similarly I calculate for 28 over here. Now difference between 28 and 31.4 is 3.4. Okay, so it's 3.4, and 3.4 is what percent of 31.4? So if we cancel 3.4 by 31.4, 3 nines are 27, so it will be something around 9, around 9, right? So 1 by 9, that is actually, if we do it into 100, so it's actually 11.11%. Now 11% of 10 will be what? 1.1, but the calculation 28 is less than 31.4, so from 10% we need to deduct 1.1, so your percentage will be 8.9%. Okay, initially you will find it difficult, but if you practice well, you'll be able to save a lot of time in calculation. Okay, I just take a few more examples. Similarly, suppose I have to find out the average of all these 5 numbers. I assume it to be 800, so it's minus 7 plus 5 minus 15 plus 23 plus 15. Okay, so 23 plus 5 is 28, 28 minus 7 is 21 divided by 5, almost 4, right? So your average is 800 plus 4. That's 804. So if you learn this technique, you'll be able to save substantial time. Right? Now the same thing once again, if I have to find out the percentage contribution of any of the numbers, suppose 805, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers are there. So average must be 20%. That means this data is actually 20%. This is the average, this is 20%. Now we have to see the deviation from this. Now 805 and 804, both of them are very closer to each other. So this is actually 20%, and this will be less than 20%, this will be less than 20%, slightly less than 20%, it will be slightly more than 20%, slightly more than 20%. Okay, so you can choose among the options. Suppose your options are like say 19 point, suppose your 793 you are asked, okay, and your options are say 15%, 19%, 20%, and say 22%. Okay, so you know that 20% is 804 and it is around closer to that. So your answer must be 19%. Okay, because 15% will be very far and 20% and 22% are more than, or like 804 is 20% and it's less than that. That means it must be less than 20%. Okay, so you reduce the part, that is 800 or maybe 793 by sum of all these numbers into 100. Okay, so you are saving this much time. Okay, I hope it is making sense for you. Now suppose I have this question and I have to find out the average of these 9 data, right? So the very first step what I will do is just look at the options. They are having a difference of 1000, right? So if you approximate your option like this data to certain extent, it would be a great help. So what I do, it's 1900. Somewhere you need to increase the number, somewhere you can decrease, right? So just keep that in your mind. Okay, so I have just deleted all the last 2 digits and created zeros in their places. Now what is the next step? Just delete all the 2 zeros from the last 2 places. Okay, now the third step, just assume any average. I assume it to be around 70, just looking at the options. 7500 is keeping in between, so I assume it to be 70. Right, after that the next step we need to see the deviation. So 19 is minus 50 around, it is minus 40, it is minus 25, it is minus 5, it is plus 15, it is plus 30, it is 70 plus 115 plus 45 plus 45 and plus 40. So it is 45, 45, 50 and 25, 75, and this is 75. So we are left with 40 plus 15, that is 55. So 55 divided by 9, that's around 6. Okay, 9 6 are 54. So the new average will be 70 plus 6, that we can say around 76, and we have eliminated 2 0. So around average will be 7600, since the options are keeping a difference of 1000 among them. So the closest option to that is 7500. Okay. Now in this question, sales of product F is what percentage of the total sales? We have already calculated the average in the previous question. So average was actually 7500. Now what I have to do, I have to find out the sales of product A is what percent of total sales. Total sales, that means the entire calculation. So it's 9905 by sum of all these numbers into 100. That is the calculation I have to make, right? Now since we have already calculated the average, we don't have to do it this calculation. Okay, now we have to find out 9905 contributes what percentage over here. Now 7500 is actually 11.11% because there are 9 data. This is the average. So average of 9 data, that is that's 100 by 9 is 11.11%. That means each contributes on an average 11%. Now 11% is 7500. Now this data is what? It's around 10,000. So 7500 and 10,000, around just 100 difference is there, and our options are like having a difference. So 7500 and 10,000. So this is what? Difference of 2500. So that is 1/3 of 7500. That is 33% of 7500. So 33% of 11% we have to add to it to get the actual contribution of this. So 33%, that is 1/3 of 11, will be what? Around 3.3 something. So if you add 3.3 into 11 plus in 11 point, this will be getting 14 point something. So that's 14.5%. Okay, simply you can calculate if you are clear with this method. You need to practice. Definitely initially you will find it difficult as well, but as you keep on practicing, you'll be finding it very easy, interesting and comfortable. So whenever you have to find out the percentage contribution of a single this whatever data among all the data, just find out the average and just see the deviation. Instantly you'll be getting the answer. Okay, I hope you are clear. I take one question for example. What was the average number of flights cancelled by airlines P, R, S and T in the year 2008? Here the number of flights cancelled by 5 different airlines in 6 different years is given. Now P, R, S and T, right? I assume the average to be 500. So this is, I just write it over here, minus 340 plus 200 plus 50 plus around 90. Okay, so precisely it is 290 plus 50, that's 340. So everything is cancelled. So average is around 500. So that's 501, closest to that. Okay, simply you can solve. Now approximately what percent of the total cancelled flight were of airline Q in the year 2006? Now we take the average of that. We have to find out the average of all these data. I assume it to be 100. So it's minus 80. I assume it to be 500. So it's minus 80 plus 100 minus 30 minus 50 and minus 250. Okay. So precisely it is 300 and 80 and 30, 110, that's 400 around. So plus 100, that's minus 300 divided by 6, so it's 50. That means actual average is around 450. Okay, now there are 5 data, so 450 must be 20%. Okay, now difference of 600 from 450 is 150, so that's 30%. That is 1/3, 33.33%. So contribution of Q will be 20 plus 1/3 of 20, that is 6.66, that is around 26.66, that is around 27 point something. So here it's 28%. Okay, I would repeat over here. I calculated the average, that comes to be 450. So since there are 5 data, 450 will be on an average 20%. Contribution of Q is 600, that is 150 more than 450. So 150 is 1/3, or we can say 33%. So we need to find out 33% of 20, that is 6.66. Your actual contribution of 600 is 20 plus 6.66, that is 27% around. Among options it is 28%. Okay, I hope you are clear. Similarly, contribution of any other data is asked. Pretty simply you can calculate. Since 450 is 20%, this will be more than 20%, this will be less than 20%, or you can say around 18 to 19%, this will be around 19 to 20%, right? This way you can find out the contribution of each and every data. Okay, so if you practice well, you will be getting a good grip over the method. Friends, I hope you might have understood this method. I'll be taking more problems on data interpretation, some more tips and techniques based on them. So I'll see you in the next session once again. Bye bye. Do practice with this method for sure.